Good day to everyone. Have you ever asked yourself, are you averse or open to change? If not, can I ask the audience to raise hands if you feel open to change? I see. And also I see a group of people who didn't raise. And in this case, I will make my best to prove you that even world's great companies meet the change challenge. And only these help them to keep their business afloat. I want this topic to be developed in some different ways. I want to uncover it by giving you explicit examples, which will help me to show you that countries that refuse to adopt their business model when there is dramatic change or a shift can stagnate or even fail in a highly competitive, fast-paced business environment. I will talk about Italian success of world-famous ice cream equipment company and about the way of getting back on top by Dell's company. And from these examples, I want you to learn some main rules of getting over the problem of change. My presentation will take only about 8 or 9 minutes from you, and you are well pleased to ask some questions. They will be in the end of my presentation. So let's move on to my first explicit example. This story is about world-famous ice cream equipment company that takes a rocky road to world domination. The company won about half of the global market in the late 80s, but then success hasn't always been assured. The company stagnated after the death of the second of two brothers founders. So complacency had set in, the quality of ice cream fell, complaints rose, and of course the market share slipped from 25 to 15% in the 90s. So Mr. Kuchi, who was brought in at that time to the company, met the change challenge. He started with cutting costs. Then he simplified the structure of the company by cutting 1,000 workforce. Then he set up a system of outsourcing. Afterwards, he introduced a new system of quality control that helped company to back on track. What was next? The next step was to improve development and technical departments. And of course, I should add about it, Gillette University, an university that involves in-house training of company and researchers in the way of ice cream making. These enormously risky changes and improvements have increased companies' profits and regained market share, cost cutting, quality control, and technical innovation have helped companies to fend off cheaper Chinese competitors. And these lead companies to globalization. Companies even expanding now in the East Ocean, or in the East area, sorry. And so I've spoken enough about Italian sweet success. But I have to show you that you have to learn that you have to decide in what way to change. Maybe it will be an upheaval, maybe a complete overhaul, or maybe small improvements. But you have to decide in what way to change. So I've spoken enough, and I show you one rule. And now let's go to my second explicit example. This story is about Dell's company. Dell has never worried about designing sexy devices or building sexy shops around the world. Sorry, not sexy shops, but not sexy shops, but fancy shops. Its distinctive feature was making a commodity of customization, allowing customers to choose what they want and what they really need to their computers. And this model went down very well. But what's the point? The point is that companies' growth migrated from corporate market to customers, and from rich countries to developing ones, to countries where people are afraid of making online shopping. And besides as PCs became popular, there is no interest for buyers to add some extra power to their computers. And there, Michael Dell started trying out new purchasing methods. He started with a push into what now calls social media. He set up a blog which led customers to give some advices on improving Dell's products. And this idea invigorated Dell's target consumer immediately. But a much more important move was to start selling products in shops again. This what can be named the cultural revolution in every type of business. So, Dell had to foster a new mindset among his employees. He had to set up a bulk supply chain, and what is really important, he had to delve into unknown area. He had to set up new relationships with new retailers. And from this story, I want you to learn that it is important to be flexible to the changing world. We don't live in a stable world, no. We live in a world full of uncertainty, full of everyday surprises, and full of predictable occasions. Managing every type of business, be prepared that some changes will be needed in some time. Some changes involve small and gradual improvements, but sometimes a complete overhaul, upheaval, or turnaround, which involve restructuring or redesigning, as well as changing corporate culture of the company, is needed to keep your business afloat. And your only advantage that you have in your pocket is just your bravery. So don't be afraid of changes. Be sure that you are doing well. Be sure that you are doing better for your company. And be sure of yourself. So your only aim is to go through the period of changes. So just go and keep going. Keep doing it. And even now, I want to assure you that I have broken from the established ways of doing. Because only now I want to introduce myself. My name is Danila, and I'm open for changes. Thank you, and feel free for changes.